Okay.
Bene, bentornati tutti su Radio Italia 1 dell'AIDE e chi ci segue dalla pagina di YouTube, forse anche Facebook. Io sono Simone Berliat e questo è Agri Adventures e mi state ascoltando da Radio Italia 1 dell'AIDE. Nella puntata di oggi abbiamo avuto l'opportunità di conoscere Nathalie e parleremo di Nathalie e del progetto che sta sviluppando qua in Sud Australia, anche questo sotto la SISA VISA. Nathalie è francese, quindi non parla italiano, anche se siamo vicini, ci muoviamo a parlare in inglese. So, let's switch in English so we can understand each other. What I was saying to all friends following us from a house or from the radio. Radio Italia 1 dell'AIDE it's cooperating with Agri Adventures on promoting kind of businesses located on the food industry and agriculture. Mm-hmm. And the program that I'm running over there, which is Agri Adventures, is designed to promote food producers, so food production, agriculture, but applied to tourism and hospitality, which in some way it has an interesting connection between what I'm doing and what you're doing. Yeah, sure. That's why we are here today.
Yeah, exactly.
So first, let me introduce you to our friends that's following us. You are Nathalie Taquet?
Yes.
That's correct. Perfect. Sorry, I just able to a little bit of the surname. You're French?
Yes.
Is that correct? Where are you from in France?
So I am from Paris, but I live in the south of France, near Italy.
Ah, okay. So the Côte d'Azur.
Côte d'Azur.
Côte d'Azur. Okay. So a lot of Italians they
Yes.
like to go over there visiting. It's a really lovely
And
place.
We love to go to Italy also.
Perfect.
Other way.
And okay, so from Paris, I'm trying to understand why you came over here.
Yes, that's a good question. So I have a family in Burgundy, in wine, and I moved to Australia with the SISA VISA to create my own company in wine industry because it's my passion. I am sommelier with WSET level 2, mm-hmm. And also I had some courses of oenology in France.
Okay.
So it's a real passion, and when I arrived here in Australia, I was totally surprised about how the Australians discover a bottle of wine. Mm-hmm. They speak about cépage, and in France we speak about domaine or chateau.
Okay.
And,
can I do an introduction? Yeah. Cépage is a French word for variety.
Grape variety.
Perfect.
Oh,
because
yes.
Sometimes people don't know that,
yeah.
And that could create some confusion.
You are right, exactly. And the idea is when I entered inside the bottle shop, I didn't know how to choose my bottle of wine, mm-hmm. Australian wine, French wine. So the idea behind the concept of Bottli is to help people to understand how to discover a bottle of wine. So for example, you receive each month boxes mm-hmm. of French wine mm-hmm. or Australian wine or both, and we with the Bottli team select the wine for you, so you don't choose the wine. So even if you don't know French wine, or for French people who come in Australia, they don't know very well Australian wine mm-hmm. when they arrive, and we provide the knowledge at home, and the idea is to educate around wine, so it's
okay.
more quality rather than quantity.
Okay, so let me introduce a second the people that's following us, because they don't know what Bottli is.
Yeah, sure.
And so mainly what you're developing over here is a monthly subscription
yeah.
for French wine.
Yeah.
Only French wine?
No, we have also Australian wine, because it's very interesting to compare also the cépage. So for example, you have Chardonnay, and you can have Australian and French Chardonnay in the mm-hmm. same box, because there is a lot of story to speak about, and also the different tastes. So the idea is that you have Australian wine or only French wine or both.
Or both. And that is, it's the mainly what you're offering is a system of transfer knowledge.
Exactly.
Through your monthly subscription, but what you're gonna use to do that, because I don't think people wanna receive a lot of pamphlets or all these kind of things at home.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you can transfer this kind of information to the final customer?
Yes, so the idea, yes, it's monthly subscription, but it's also it could be also one purchase, and it could be also only one time, like a gift.
Okay.
So you don't have to engage for months subscription. You can also do for one time, and the subscription you can stop when you want. So there is no engagement, and the idea is to connect the customer to the vineyards, because we provide the story of the vineyards for each bottle, and the tasty note, and the food and wine pairing. So the idea behind it's to understand what we drink and what we have to pair with food and wine, and to have the best of the toast inside the palate, and to how to discover your wine with your nose, and to stimulate all your senses, and to live and experiences around wine bottle.
Okay, so mainly give the value of you're gonna give the value of the product,
Yeah.
but how are you gonna do that? I mean, let's say for instance I'm gonna purchase this box. I receive this box with 4 bottles of wine in it,
Yeah.
right? I open it, and then in that I have a piece of paper that's gonna speak about that, or there is another way, because we have a different level and layers of followers, and some of them are people still keen on getting a piece of paper and read about, but others are more interested to read information on their devices.
Exactly.
So more mobile. So I was wondering if maybe you're going to use other way of to transfer this information apart in written paper.
Yes. So exactly, when you receive your box, you have 3 bottles of wine, so red, white, rosé, or champagne, sparkling, and you have a QR code that you scan with your phone, and you have the link to the website platform with all the information. So
okay.
It's not paper, because the idea is to be sustainable, so the people can also keep with this website platform the history of the bottle that they toast. If they like it, they can reorder them. So the idea is not a paper, but more technologies. Yes, and we use QR code because it's very easy to use. Actually, with a phone, you scan and you have directly the link. So in 5 seconds, you have all the information.
So you may have to add into the box a small description how to use the QR code, because there are people that they are not still like used to. Maybe they will be interested to try some of the products that they are going to not try, but learn more about, but they are still not used to use the QR code.
Yeah, so because we are very flexible, people receive an email with the QR code, but they have also the link to the website where they have all the information. So because we have some customer that don't use QR code, so we provide both solutions. And sometimes people don't want some email, so we can provide the information by phone with a message. So it's very open, depending on what the customer would like to have.
Okay, and that is it's mainly your solution to a problem that you've seen only in Australia, or is something that you noticed happening even back in France in terms of communication of the value?
Yes, I notified that here in Australia, many people, I think it's around 80% of people use some application on mobile. I think comparing with France, in France we don't use so much the mobile phone to have the information. So, for example, in primary school here in Australia, you have already children using some application, some computer very often, and I think already in year 1, so very at the beginning. So it's more usual here to use like QR code or iPhone or a website platform.
Okay, so that is you're mainly designing this business mainly for Australia at the moment.
So we
because you see the market.
Exactly, we deliver in all Australia, but not outside of Australia. Okay. For the moment, we will see in the future. I would like in the future if I can export Australian wine in France. It could be an opportunity for French people to discover Australian wine because they don't know very well Australian wine.
Absolutely.
But it's a future project. For the moment, we deliver in all Australia, and in the price you have the delivery included and GST, so you can live in Perth, Darwin, Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, you can have the delivery at home. Okay,
so now I think I grasp the concept of the business, like the product, but I'm more curious to understand the behind the scenes. I'll explain you why. Like since the last February, when I received the visa, the first one, because I'm under the same SISA visa that you, and I've been participating to many different startup ecosystems and speaking with a lot of entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I realized and I like is that there is not much said about what the real life behind. So sometimes when I do these interviews, I like to help the different entrepreneurs and startuppers, I call them, to bring out their problems. Like see what's the worst nightmare, what's the problematics that we face as entrepreneurs in the beginning of our journey, and share them with the audience, or share with the people that's following us, because I think that it is quite useful. I mean, mine at the moment is I've been focused too much in startup ecosystems and not much on my own market. So I spend a lot of time looking at finding help in the community and not really speaking with the final customer or the customer. So that was the mistake, and something that I would advise who's approaching the same pathway now, which is get focused on your customer first, and the startup ecosystem comes after. Unfortunately, that's what I've seen at the moment. Do you have like so far, what's the most difficult thing that you've noticed in the development of this Bottli project?
Yes, I think I was in the wrong way at the beginning, because I thought that digital marketing was a good strategy, for example, for Bottli. And I realized that in Australia people would like to have human contact. And when you sell some wine, it's not like digital campaign that could replace the human contact. And in my business, the idea is to promote little vineyards and not big brands. So we would like to speak about the story behind each bottle. I realized that I didn't give as much as I would like time to promote the vineyards and to find the customers directly. So it's why I started 2 weeks ago some market, French market, to go directly to the future customer and to speak about the concept of Bottli, because it's not a bottle shop, or it's not to buy your bottle and just to have a tasting note. It's more than that. It's more an experience. It's more to connect customers to the vineyards directly. So there is many things behind that. It's more human, and I realized that it takes time. It takes more time, sure, than digital marketing, but it's very important. So, for example, in 2 weeks I will go during a weekend in Sydney to do 2 markets and to promote Bottli and to speak about it and to consider all the weekend, but to be connected to the final customers, because it's, I think, very important, as you said, like a startup, we focus on the startup and take a long time to connect with the network and stuff like that. But I think the central point is customers.
Customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just for those following us from YouTube, if you see me checking the phone, it's mainly because I'm checking the timing.
Yeah.
Not for me, but that is recording. Just to make sure that everything is recorded properly. I'm saying that because my mom one time pointed it out and saying you should speak with the people interviewing. You should not have to look at your phone.
Yeah.
So because of that, I just want to make sure I'm not checking Facebook. I'm just simply checking out that everything is running properly, okay? Just to make sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sensing the passion that probably I have too in terms of communication, the product, and also interesting the fact that we both came out with analyzing a market and seeing things more under the numbers, but both we are ending on really getting in touch with the soul, and that's probably is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And again, like you've been really quick on describing a little bit yourself. So if you want to share, obviously,
sure.
like Paris is a completely different world. Okay, Adelaide is another thing. It's completely different too. So I'm struggling to see that. I mean, I'm struggling to see how is the life moving from that side of the planet to come over here. Do you find any difficulty? Because I think that being young entrepreneurs or start-uppers, what I say, also the environment around us influencing quite a lot the outcome of the business. I mean, I think that Paris probably could be quite stimulating develop a business. Is like that? Like over there? Have you been developing businesses over there before? Or?
So before I was in a big company, Nestle.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I was in research, like team manager, and I had 15 years in public and private research institute. My background is in research, so I have a PhD. And Nestle decided to close the site of Sophia Antipolis in the south of France.
Okay.
With 500 people working on this site. So I was confronted with the difficult period in France where you don't have anymore the security of employment. And also I was a number in a big company with Silo. And I was frustrated because I didn't create something by myself, and I would like to have more interaction, human interaction, and not to work on my desk to write some scientific publication or something like that. So it's why we decided together with my husband and my 3 children to move to Australia and to give the opportunity for all the family to be in a good environment of opportunities for entrepreneurship, but also to learn new languages, or to have other cultures, or to work in another area, or with other environments. And we decided to move together before that the children became adults. So I have 3 children. The first one now is 20 years old, the second one is 18 years old, and the last one is a daughter, and she's 8 years old. So we decided yes.
Yeah, I met her.
We decided to move together and to have this experience. So we arrived here in Australia with only 5 luggage and a tourist visa.
And a tourist
visa.
It's
a big challenge for all the family. And so we had at the beginning, some huge difficulties, to have the good visa for the children to do some studies in another school. But we were very happy to be together in this same experience, because the risk was not big. We could return in France and return in our house. So we tried to do that together, all the family. And I saw a lot of changes in each children. It was amazing to see how they open the mind and how they change inside. And I'm very proud of that, because it's not only to open and to have my own business, it's also because they were maybe introvert before and maybe focus on their only person. And now, for example, my son who just finishing high school, moved to Canada for the university.
Okay.
In Montreal, so he's alone and by himself, very autonomous. And I think it was not something realizable before in France. So the children change. My daughter at 8 years old catch up the English in 4 months. So very nice for her future. And for me, it was the opportunity, and for my husband, to create some startup and to be in this good environment with connection, because in Australia you have less, I think, intermediate steps. So you can, for example, see the Minister of Innovation, eat with him, and you can be connected to people very easier comparing with France. That is so complicated, and there is a lot of stairs behind. So we try. Now we live in Australia for 1 year. We have the SISA VISA, so we secure the visa. We can work and can create some startup. Let's see the future, but we can say now we did it, even if we will see the future. It's so we learn a lot in 1 year when I just see behind me in the past, and wow, so incredible experience to do that, because it opened the mind. I learned a lot of things, how to create a business, and I learn every day so much comparing with my PhD. PhD, it's 8 years of studies, but I learn more in 1 year in Australia comparing with my MBA, because I have also an executive global MBA, and my PhD. It was so beautiful studies, but here it's practical, it's not theoretical, it's more, okay, now you are here, you swim, and you see if you can swim alone or not.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's different, and it's very nice, because I have the background with professional experience, and now it's my own business, and it's just amazing. Yes.
Exactly. That is something that I've seen too when I came over here, which was that the approach of the business and the business mentality, it's easier over here. Yeah. Like over here, you have much more support. Yeah. You have much less layers into the community, and in some way it reflects a little bit the differences between different countries. Like in Italy too. Like in Italy, you have a lot of layers to go through in order to not get the right connection, but to be at least someone listening at you. While over here, I found that when you have an idea, you have probably more chances and to receive support, which is good, and probably that's why the startups ecosystems, they are running properly over here, because it's probably easy to develop something over here than not back. I say in Italy because I know Italy and I know France, but so but really you didn't say to me if you had big problems or not. It seems that it's more the experience that is kind of smooth. Okay, so it's not smooth. It's full of rocks and pebbles and all, but that is the spirit, which is my same outcome. It's like we switched into live your life, and in these stages, every day we learn new things, and every day we are happy. Say, oh my God, I've done it. I've done it on my own. There was no one that was doing that for me, and I've been thinking about, which is super cool. That is what gives you the joy and the strength because you speak about you speak about your children, and seeing them, the impact of this lifestyle in them is giving you the energy. It's
exactly.
like it's the same thing happened to me with my son. That the fact that I'm having him with me, and I am able to manage my time in order to be able to go where you want to go without taking away all time and sacrifice it to work, which is something that happens so many times. So the entrepreneurship is really heavy, but also gives you satisfaction on small steps and gives you the freedom to manage your family life.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Which is amazing. I'm gonna read the questions because it was so interesting that I completely forgot if there was. Well, we spoke about the project. In the end, it's pretty simple. You go to the website, you find the box that is interesting to you. You can order online. You can buy one, and you can get more. And then you will receive every month. Is it a month?
Yes, month.
Every month you receive new products that they are chosen from experts. And you will experience them, because the way of communication is done, is simplified and is clarified for you. That's correct? And then the vision, because that is important thing. What there is the vision behind? Like, what do you want to facilitate with this?
My vision is...
make money. No. Generally it's not.
When I arrived in Australia and I arrived in Sydney, I was totally surprised about the alcohol problem.
I agree.
A real problem we have in France, but here in Sydney I was very surprised to see women and men drink just to drink and not to take pleasure to drink good wine or good alcohol. And the vision is more to educate people around alcohol about quality rather than quantity. And if in the future I can do something against problem of alcohol with violence with women or children, I will do that, because it's my vision. It's not boxes of wine. It's also to educate people to enjoy a good bottle of wine with premium wine or quality product, not to have a headache after the day after. It's more okay. You enjoy a bottle with good friends, good family, and you don't have to destroy other life because of alcohol. So my vision is if I can bring something in the world, in this world, in this way, I will do.
Okay. Well, this is something that I had experience too. Like when I came the first time, I was shocked from the way how people been approaching wine. As a sommelier, also I struggle quite a lot, because my job, it was to create the value behind the product, and it was to communicate the product. And but communication works only when you have a similar background. Like when the background is different and people has a different approach to the product, you struggle to be professional over here. That's why some of the business development and the project behind Agri Adventures is to create this connection and communication, which that is actually why some way we are here today, is that we will be working together, and because that is probably a good way to partner in some way, and especially in communication. So when me and Natalie, we met when I have been organizing one of the first events for the Agri Adventures platform, and she was interested because I was speaking about Oxenberry Farm. That was business what I've been working in, and the fact it was the first settlement in McLaren Vale and everything behind the wine. And she was saying, oh, that's what I want to do. Like, this is interesting because this is what I want to bring to the customers. So with that, we came out that we can organize things together. So, like for instance, the first experience that we created, and it's going to be for who's following us, especially the one from the radio, because I don't know if the people in YouTube they're close by enough. But for the people that's following us on the Radio Italiano dell'Aide, 13th of December, we have organized an event with another Italian guy, that is Federico all'Incontro, which is in a gay arcade. This is the Adelaide Arcade, one of the branches of it, and we're going to do a tasting of French and Australian wine. I was going to say Italian, so at the moment I can't. Who will do maybe?
Yes, maybe in the future.
So, and that is to join the energy and trying to create more curiosity, I think.
Yes.
I think that there is the wine market be simplified too much over here. That's why people is not appreciating. It's just because they don't get the moment in which someone is going to tell them, can you smell the roses? What do you think the taste of is? Can you find this more the imagination behind the not, the alcohol or okay.
Yes.
So I think it was interesting. I struggled a little bit to get out the real soul, but we got it. In the beginning we had the business, and then it came out the real, and then we are on the business. That's more motive, like it has more sense, create this connection and also the experience too. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I know an Italian word, arrivederci.
Arrivederci when we are going away. Well, if for the people that's following us, they are gonna see us if they're gonna come. So
it's when you enter in Italia, you put your credit card in the péage and say arrivederci, when you enter with the car, and you pay, the entry with the railway.
Yeah. I got it.
Arrivederci.
You say arrivederci, because they're gonna say quando sei al casello autostradale, when you are to the highway. I don't know. By the way, in France, do you have the same system or it's free?
No, we have the same.
No, we have to. Well, you have to pay over there too. Okay, I'm gonna switch now back in Italian. Bene. Spero che per tutti sia stato comprensibile. Nathalie sta sviluppando questo business che si chiama Bottli e avrete l'opportunità di trovarlo anche sulla piattaforma Agri Adventure. Scusate se è anche un po' troppo advertising per questa giornata di oggi, ma penso che sia importante visto che quello che sta sviluppando è anche dal mio punto di vista interessante. Se volete lasciare dei commenti per questa puntata potete mandarli a info@radio1delaide.com.eu oppure potete mandarli attraverso la pagina Facebook Radio Italia 1. Nel qual caso siate interessati di parlare con Nathalie, perché Nathalie sta offrendo questo servizio a disposizione di piccoli produttori di vino anche in Sud Australia. Questo vuol dire che se siete dei produttori di vino e volete usufruire del prodotto che Nathalie sta creando, potete contattare Nathalie attraverso la sezione del sito B2B. As I explained to them, I explained them that if there are any wine producers in South Australia that they're interested to access the service, they can find the connection on the B2B version, B2B section on the website on Agri Adventures, and over there is a quick description of what you're doing, and there is a contact form where they can get in contact directly with you.
Yes,
That's what I was saying in Italian. So, grazie mille a tutti per averci seguiti questa giornata. Adesso ritorniamo in studio. Tra parentesi siamo in Stone and Chalk, che è il nuovo... what's Stone Chalk is, by the way?
So yes, it's the new place where you will have more and more startup connected. And,
but I've seen there was a connection with that and the new release Pixie, I think is Pixie from South Australia. So all the energy involved from South Australia to develop this startup ecosystem, they are focused here in Stone and Chalk. And so we're over here, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for following us on YouTube, and see you again soon.
Thank you very
Ciao,
much.
ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Grazie mille.